The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
Whether it's allegations of VA staff covering up long wait times or cooking the books, I will not stand for it. I will not tolerate this kind of behavior in any agency, but especially in the IRS. We will work with the Libyan government to bring to justice the killers who attacked our people.
Things closing in on President Obama. There are now 5 controversies in play. We'll run down the status of every one, and Charles Krauthammer will analyze.
You should keep your hoe on a leash.
Oh, bro, I can't let you.
Hey.
Can't let you be talking to my woman like that, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Running wild, man.
A column in the Washington Post says that Hollywood comedy movies may be partially responsible for the horrendous killings in Santa Barbara. 2 of the men named in the column, director Judd Apatow and actor Seth Rogen, are not happy. We'll have the latest with Bernie Goldberg.
He's not a criminal. He made a mistake and made a wrong turn and said right at the border, I've got guns. I don't want to be here. Let me turn around and go home.
But the Mexicans did not let Marine Sergeant Andrew Tamarisi go home. Now he's in prison. Why does Mexico continue to do this? Is it legal? On the case.
Caution, you are about to enter the no-spin zone. Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight as we begin another Factor summer. Now, I know some of you were not watching the past couple of weeks, caught up in all that dancing, singing, and surviving on the networks. We forgive you, but you missed a lot. And that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. President Obama currently involved in 5 intense controversies, and his administration is under siege no matter what the Democratic Party and the media, which protects him, tells you. Mr. Obama's job approval rating may fall below 40% this week, primarily because of the VA scandal. As you may know, there are allegations that sick veterans died because they could not get treatment quickly enough. In Phoenix, there are serious charges that there was a secret waiting list and that the VA tried to cover up the chaos. President Obama looked weak in responding. It took him weeks to even formulate an opinion. Finally, he said he was outraged. But the president always says he's outraged. And it seems his administration was caught by surprise after the Phoenix story broke. Now, the House Committee on Veterans Affairs will conduct a hearing, another hearing, on the allegations. 3 VA officials have been summoned to appear, but they might not show up. And if they do, they might take the 5th. The VA's Inspector General is investigating 26 situations to determine whether employees of the VA covered up long waits for medical appointments all across the country. No matter what your ideological bent, this is awful. And since President Obama pledged to clean up the VA 6 years ago, it falls on him. So we can expect a bunch of embarrassing hearings, but little else. The VA Secretary, General Shinseki, is still on the job, although it's just a matter of time before he resigns. That is controversy number 1. Number 2, the IRS. This one's simple. House of Representatives voted to hold former IRS official Lois Lerner in criminal contempt because she will not testify about a role in targeting conservative political groups. It's up to the Justice Department, run by the president's close friend, Eric Holder, to prosecute Lerner. But it may not. It has discretion. And Talking Points believes Miss Lerner will not be indicted. And without her testimony, the story goes nowhere, unless an IRS whistleblower steps forward. Controversy number 3, Benghazi, Libya. There's now a select committee in the House which will hold, wait for it, hearings. But those hearings will not get underway until late summer. And the committee chairman, Congressman Trey Gowdy, says a lot of this stuff will be done in closed session. That means a long process before we the people know anything. The key questions are, where was the president on the night of the attack? Why did the Obama administration tell the world that murders were inspired by a video? And why did the U.S. military not respond when the alarm sounded? Apparently, Secretary of State John Kerry will testify about Benghazi on the Hill June 12th. But what does Kerry know? Hillary Clinton was in charge when Ambassador Christopher Stevens and 3 other Americans were murdered by the terrorists. So, will we ever get to the bottom of Benghazi? Doubtful. Number 4, Fast and Furious. 2,000 American guns allowed to flow into Mexico by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. A few employees were disciplined, nobody fired. But one Border Patrol agent, Brian Terry, apparently murdered by a thug using one of those guns. Talking Points does not believe anything else will come out of Fast and Furious. And finally, Obamacare. Now this one could be big. Unions and employers are now arguing over who'll pick up the tab for the affordable health care mandates. Costs are going up all over the place. And nobody's happy except, of course, those who are getting free health care insurance, which was the goal from the very beginning, giving Americans who cannot afford health insurance premiums a freebie. Throughout the summer and fall, anger over the affordable health care law is likely to grow at a furious pace as Americans see their health care premiums skyrocket and services decline. This is President Obama's biggest problem, with the VA second. Right now, the White House strategy seems to be, let's ride it out. We only have 2.5 more years in office. Investigators don't work quickly, and the public's attention span is short. In fact, if you go out to the mall tomorrow and ask people about any of these scandals that I've just listed, you will likely get a blank stare. The media has emotion invested in President Obama, we all know that, and is not likely to be aggressive in pursuing these stories, although CNN did break the VA situation. But we here at The Factor promise that we'll stay on the case. All Americans deserve efficient, honest government. All we want are answers to simple questions and accountability. Until President Obama leaves the Oval Office, we'll continue to demand those things and hope that Mr. Obama will understand that his legacy is on the line. And that's a memo. Next, Charles Krauthammer will give us his view of what is likely to happen in all of the controversies. Charles, moments away.